And hello again, here we have another match on the Legacy of the Void beta, where I'm as carriers against the Zerg opponent. Take a look. Here we have the red Zerg and the blue Protoss. Myself. This map, this is a pretty fun map. The bases are pretty close, which is good for air harassment. There's a long road for the ground units, so you can harass with multiple directions from air units, such as carriers from here, mothership core. We had the past expo, pool, standard. I'm going for double gas, gateway and the ramp. Little poking here. I'm gonna just go sit on his third. Make sure he doesn't get a really fast third. Adding a second gateway, followed by adept and a mothership core. And I go straight to scouting. Meanwhile I'm making Stargate, getting ready to take my expo. Like kill a first drone. And then I get out of here because I saw enough these tech structures here. Place down my nexus. So this time I only make one void ray to hunt down the overlords instead of the 4 phoenixes. What is happening here? He's making 6 roaches while scouting, getting ready to poke me a little bit. Here comes his attack. And here he comes. He's really resistant with these units because I make a photon overcharge and I have this wall and he still keeps coming, which I think is a mistake on his half. Although he gets to get a few of my units, but poor control here. I really should keep these sentries behind. I don't know what he thinks he can accomplish with this attack, except keep losing his units. Yeah, I don't think that was a good attack. He lost way more than I. Meanwhile I'm making a fleet beacon and a second Stargate. While probing up, and he has taken his third. while I'm going overlord hunting. And now I start my first carrier. Let's see if I can stick to my 8-minute mark this time. And the advantage with this void ray is that it kind of baits your opponent making hydras. And hydras are not the best answer against massed carriers, as you're about to see. And indeed he's making hydras then. But again, if you make phoenixes, I think that in that case he's also going for hydra. 3 units, always good. Producing double carriers and graviton catapult. Meanwhile he's making hydras with +1 range. You got a lot better economy than I do. I really should take a third faster. But I was pretty confident on my carriers, which he scouts now. This is a good scout. Just under 8-minute marks, a little bit behind because of the early attack, and I have to warp in units. And when I hit 4 carriers I go. Now he's making more hydras and a spire. Meanwhile I'm getting ready to attack. Here we go. Half a minute late. Now this is tricky when to use to release interceptors. Here we have a pretty good flank. This a little bit faster should be great, and I could get all of these units. Instead I get few. Here we have a big engagement. He's making spores. I don't want to fight under that, so I just run into his base. Have to be really careful not to lose any carriers, because you really have to mass these. Once you get the critical mass, they just roll over anything. It's making so many hydras. 19. And I have realized that I'm gonna lose this, so just gonna save the carriers and keep harassing here so he doesn't attack me now when I'm not ready. Starting to pile up gas a lot. So what you do, you warp in a bunch of sentries. Now this is good. I have to keep these hydras here for as long as I can, so I can build more carriers and a ground support unit. Oh, close one. So again, gonna poke a little. This would be a dangerous force if it attacks right now. Try to kill his lair. Unsuccessfully. The units lost. Still favoring me a little. Oh, that was bad. 25 hydras and I have 5 carriers and coming. Finally got my third. And you mine fast in the Legacy of the Void. Trying to get into Festation Pit. The Hive. Well, I'm starting +1 air weapons so late. Be away soon. Now I have 6 carriers, which is quite a force. Now I'm baiting all his army to follow this one zealot. This is a common mistake which I do myself. To have all your army chase one unit, and so I get to snipe this free base. Look how fast the hydras melt. No chance. He is too scared to attack, so I just go to higher ground and wait for his mistake. A couple of free hydras here and there. And this army is gonna eventually melt. Didn't even get that one. 9 HP. Yes, no chance. Awesome force fields. He really should be making corruptors. Corruptor Hydra would be good, I think. And GG. So I really should be making probes more. Take a faster third. Because the carriers are so expensive. And definitely take the air weapons faster. And opponent, well, he really should make corruptors. Since he made the spire, I don't know if he forgot he had spire. But few corruptors probably changed the fight. Anyway, carriers are a strong unit, and once you get maybe 6 to 8, they are really hard to stop.